need to put as many walls between you and the outside world as possible.
A new tornado
at the lowest
emergency
level of
has
the
been
most
issued.
sturdy building that you can find. Preferably not a room with a bunch of glass or windows in it. Okay, and you want to put a helmet on. Okay, so this is a situation where we have a lot of lead time now. That newest tornado emergency that just came out goes all the way past Bennington. It goes into Blair, Fort Calhoun, and Missouri Valley, all the way over in portions of Iowa. You guys have potentially about 30 to 40 minutes of lead time. There's once again, a potentially catastrophic tornado on the ground that could make it all the way up towards you. Go ahead now and start making precautions, taking precautions. Put a pair of shoes on.
Yeah, Ryan, we have a big violent wedge tornado. I got it on my stream right now going up towards Waterloo and Elkhorn.
Okay, and let's make sure we refresh Freddie. Let's make sure Freddie's up. And then put a pair of shoes on. Grab the kids' football helmets. Okay, grab the your helmet. Put on a helmet. Grab the mattress off the bed. Do something to protect your head, because the number one way that you're going to get injured or hurt in a situation like this is by debris, falling on you. So, get into the most interior room of your home. Barricade yourself in there. Bring me with you. Okay? Because we have an extremely dangerous situation unfolding here. Once again, this is really close to Waterloo. I'm hoping that this skirts just to the east of town, but we can't go off of hope here. We need everybody deep underground over there in Waterloo. Next, though...
Ryan, violent wedge tornado.
Yeah.
I would estimate at least a mile wide. Lots of damage, Ryan.
Yeah, guys. What you're hearing is some of the voices of our storm chasers here that are sending in photos and videos of the tornado as it's happening live now, in between Waterloo and Elkhorn.
A new
in,
tornado
Nebraska.
warning has been issued.
Okay. Right now, this tornado is moving into the West Maple Road area. Let me zoom in here on the radar. Let me show you something. All of these little gray dots here, these are houses in a very large residential area that the tornado is about to go directly through. If these people are not underground right now, their lives are literally in extreme danger. You don't
Ryan,
want to
I
find
can't stress
yourself.
enough, if you are in the path of this storm and you live in a mobile home, get out. It's a death trap. If you live in a house, get in the middle of the house. Put as many walls as you can between you and the tornado as possible. If you don't, you will not survive.
That's
This is a bad
right.
tornado. I cannot stress that enough.
What you're hearing is the voice of Brad Arnold, and the reason he's so...
We've got damage
The
with
reason
with
he's
a house.
using
Second,
this kind
a
of
whole second
language
story
is
has been
because of
removed from the
this.
house.
New information. This tornado
Show you,
warning
we're
has been
looking at
upgraded.
some of the damage right now from his
Hey, Ryan, I
vantage
have a
point.
cross.
We've got debarked trees. He just went by some debarked trees. We've got all kinds of like really high-end indicators of extreme damage here from our storm chasers as we can. But this is certainly lofting significant debris into the air, and it's obviously caused a lot of damage. We've just seen this thing go through a significant residential area here just on the northeast side of Waterloo, and now it's once again moving in the general direction of Bennington, Nebraska. Wow. We currently have 7 tornado warnings, all up and down different parts of Nebraska and Kansas. We are really focused in on this storm that's on the border of Nebraska and Iowa, though, because it is currently producing what we believe is a catastrophic tornado, and that is moving over towards Washington and Bennington, okay? And then we've also got, if I'm not mistaken, is that location
Ryan,
correct?
A new
on the
tornado
Brian
watch
Fingers
has been
stream?
issued.
Debris falling out of the sky here in Elkhorn. Looks like we've got Omaha police already in town too. I'm currently, I'm trying to get around it here.
Somebody talk to me. Is that correct on Brian M. Finger's stream? Is that his actual location?
Yeah, the third one.
Yeah. Okay. We've also got a tornado down in the Fredonia and New Albany area of Kansas. And we've got a live view of that from Storm Chaser Brian Emfinger down there. So Fredonia, Kansas, take shelter now. We've got a bunch of tornadoes down. This is a full-scale tornado outbreak that we're covering here. And, of course, we still have the very large and dangerous one out here in it's west of Omaha, Nebraska, just past Waterloo now, moving up towards Bennington. And here's the Kansas one. You can't see it perfectly, but there's a tornado in there.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Brian Emfinger is near Toronto, Kansas.
On the stream as everyone's watching. If you need to take a break, please do so. If you're not directly in the way of this, if you do know someone directly in the way, it's still a great idea to call them, just make sure they're okay, and or tell them that ahead of time, because there is another storm to the south and east that will approach the Omaha metro pretty much head on toward downtown, and especially the eastern side across the state line into Iowa. This is going to very much interact in the same environment that our tornado emergency is currently ongoing in. And so I want to issue well ahead of time. There is already a warning that extends up to Papillion and Bellevue on the southern side of the Omaha metro, but that will more than likely be extended to the metro. Cross your fingers it doesn't do the same thing, but it is the same environment, relatively unimpeded. So this is just to let you know well ahead of time that is coming your way, probably about 20 minutes out for Papillion and Bellevue.
Okay, thank you very much. That's meteorologist Andy Hill, kind of giving us an overview of what else to expect down the road here. This is the storm that he's talking about here. This is going to be a problem for the greater Omaha area here in the near future. The current problem that we're having is the storm that we've been tracking, the current tornado emergency that is ongoing. You just heard Chris Hall come over the radio there and said he's got a tornado in front of him. I mean, all of these storm chasers do, and like it's a big one. It's still a big one, and it's moving right towards Washington and Bennington in Nebraska. I want to make sure, because I know we've got new people that are filtering in right now. I want to make sure everybody understands exactly what's going on here. We've got a widespread multi-state tornado outbreak going on right now. There's a big tornado happening in Kansas. You can see that at the bottom of your screen live right now. There's a huge, potentially catastrophic tornado ongoing in portions of Nebraska and Iowa. You can see that on the radar here. And we've got several other tornado warnings as well. We've got a total of 8 and a bunch of storms that are about to produce tornadoes even on top of that. So if you are anywhere near any of these places that we're talking about today is the kind of day where you need to be paying extra close attention to the weather. And like Andy said, if you know somebody near these places, you need to let them know what's up as well. You could potentially save their life by drawing their attention to the news or whatever it is that how they want to receive their weather information. So this is a current look at the velocity signature here from our storm that's now going up towards Bennington. This is what we call the velocity couplet. Okay, this is how we know that there's tight rotation here. Okay, when we
Ryan,
kind of
Chris, one more thing. I know this is still on the ground. We're getting turned around. Traffic is blocked. The big beam metal poles are completely snapped in half here just to the north of Elkview. We're turning around trying to get to Bennington, but very strong, if not violent, tornado.
Okay, that was the voice of Chris Hall telling us about some of the damage that he's seeing with this storm here that's going up towards Bennington. This is... once again, I just showed you the velocity couplet. This is going to be the hook. So this has got one of the most impressive looks on radar that we've ever seen from a supercell. You can kind of see what we call the hook echo here. All right. And that is one of the things that kind of led us to, or led the National Weather Service to issue that tornado emergency. Whenever we saw the signature, you saw the hook and also the debris ball here. That went through a residential area, and it is now still there, okay, as it's going towards Bennington. I want everybody to know, I want everybody to understand that this is still ongoing. This is a big tornado that's happening now.
We have homes damaged. We're out. We're going to be going into... Yeah, we're yeah.
Okay, all right. Once again, we're hearing the unfiltered and just raw, reactions to what's happening from some of our storm chasers here. Obviously, it's a very intense situation for them. They're right there in the middle of all this damage. So we're going to stick with them and support them as they, it sounds like Chris is now going to try to help some people that may need it there. But next in line, once again, this is not over. This is still happening right now. Next in line is the town of Bennington, Nebraska. Unfortunately, it looks like this thing is coming right towards you, and it's as powerful as it's ever been. Okay, so please take shelter right now.
A new tornado watch has been issued.
You're going to want to get underground for this one, or at least into the most interior room of your home. Okay. Well, on the lowest floor. A tornado emergency is the highest level tornado warning that can possibly be issued. And once again, it's reserved for very special instances where the National Weather Service believes that a significant loss of life and property is possible with the intense tornado that's taking place. And right now we have a tornado emergency for places like Bennington, Washington, Nebraska, Fort Calhoun, Kennard, DeSoto, and it goes all the way out into Iowa, California Junction, Modale, Missouri Valley, Findlay, Loveland, and Beebeetown in Iowa. You guys are all under this tornado emergency. And once again, this could be one of the more dangerous situations you've ever been in your entire life if you are in that polygon there, and you need to take it seriously. This is not your average tornado warning. This is a big deal, okay? And of course, Chris Hall, he's live here, and I don't know exactly where he is. He's somewhere in Douglas County, Nebraska, but you can see that he's already pulled up on some pretty significant damage there, and they're just now, trying to get out and help people as much as they can. It looks like Chris Hall's storm chase is going to be over for today as he gets into the mode of trying to help people out there. DeSoto, Fort Calhoun, Bennington, you guys are next. We can still see the debris ball right here. The tornado is currently crossing over Bennington Road. It's going to enter the town of Bennington, more than likely, on the western side over there near where Bennington Road and North 186th Street intersect. And then it's going to continue to go up north and
east. A new
east,
tornado warning
towards
has been
State
issued.
Highway 133. And then... what else do we got here? We got a new confirmed tornado warning in Kansas. Let's really quickly go check that out. My fingers stream. And it looks like this is also a big, strong tornado now coming up towards Guilford, Benedict, Roper, and Rest in Kansas. All right. This is a big tornado on the ground as well. It's not just happening in Nebraska. It's also happening in Kansas. And my goodness, this one's about to do it too. The one down here near New Albany, a new tornado is about to form, and we'll probably see another big tornado form here moving up towards the Fredonia area once again, unfortunately, as this is kind of like a train of supercells that's coming up in this general direction. I do want to quickly take a look elsewhere here. We don't have any tornado warnings in Texas or Oklahoma right now, but really unfortunate seeing big cells starting to pop up to the west of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay, so now we've got supercells that are forming well down into Oklahoma. These are eventually going to enter an environment that will be favorable for big hail, damaging winds, and unfortunately, tornadoes at some point here. So we're probably going to be talking about Oklahoma here within the next couple of hours. Back up to Nebraska, we continue to have a bunch of tornado warnings well up into kind of the more northeastern portion of Nebraska. One of those is an observed tornado warning that continues for places like Emmerich, Nebraska. Take shelter now if you're up there. We do still have a tornado warning for Cedar Bluffs, Nebraska. You guys should take shelter as well. But more than anything, our most concerning looking storm right now is still the one that just went past Bennington and is now going more towards the direction of Kennard and DeSoto and the areas between that. So Fort Calhoun, DeSoto, Kennard, take shelter immediately. It looks like this went once again, we're looking at the radar here. So this is kind of up in the sky a little bit. We don't know exactly what happened down on the ground, but it looks like maybe the biggest part of this tornado went just to the west of Bennington. Well, we can hope for that, but I'm sure we're going to hear some damage reports coming out of Bennington here soon, as that definitely, another thing to consider here is that these tornadoes are big, right? So it doesn't really matter exactly where that little dot is. But right now, the next road that this is going to cross here in Nebraska is County Road 38. And unfortunately, this is a part of Nebraska that even though we're not near a big town here necessarily, this is still populated. If I zoom in here, you can see there's a house. These are neighborhoods all along these farm roads and these county roads here, and they're all in the direct path of probably one of the more intense tornadoes.
Hey, Ryan, we're out. We're doing search and rescue. As of now, everybody's been in the basement. We're looking at one more house. We cannot get into it. We're trying our best, but Ryan, pretty serious damage here, just to the north of Elkhorn.
Okay, so that's a live, report from Storm Chaser Chris Hall, who's doing search and rescue near the Elkhorn area.
A new tornado warning
which just got hit by a big tornado. So far, no reports of injuries from Chris specifically, but there's somebody trapped. They're trying to help them get out. Chris, if you're listening, if you need anything from us, man, just let us know. Unbelievable stuff here unfolding as that storm is still ongoing. It's not done yet. It's still producing a big tornado here, and it probably will for quite some time as we continue to watch this thing go up. Holy smokes, look at that. You ever seen anything